Roland. Hello, everybody. This is State Senator Roland Gutierrez on Fortitude with Roland Gutierrez. We have our good friend Marty Golando back in town.
Hi, how are you?
Looking like Andrew McCarthy.
I do not look like Andrew McCarthy.
You should see him now.
I look more like, that's fair.
You do look like him.
That's fair.
And Jorge Vasquez, our dear friend. We took a week off. And I know, listen, for all 10 of you that watch us, we kind of left you there on a cliffhanger. But here we're back. Marty was in court.
I was in court. So
fighting the good fight for justice.
More like a mediocre fight, but it was worth it.
An election contest.
Still ongoing.
Oh, you didn't win, you didn't lose.
Yes. We are in the Schrodinger's cat stage of the election contest.
What do they say about justice? Justice delayed is what, or something like that?
Denied.
Denied? Oh, okay.
And it depends on which side you're on, I guess.
I guess so.
Yeah.
All right, so here we are. We're back. Who knows what we're going to talk about today, but a couple things. Just to start off the show, I saw this morning, which is nighttime in China. It is now midnight in China.
Is that right? Tomorrow, though.
Tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're 12 to 13 hours ahead, depending on where you are. Old Donald Trump's over there probably getting to bed, or maybe he's on a plane back. Who knows? I don't know what his plan is for tomorrow. And he's over there with Xi, and they're doing the thing. And he says to him, oh, thank you for this great welcoming like no other. How many times has this motherfucker said that to so many different heads of state? Thank you for welcoming me.
Only when they're despots.
Because they do the big pomp and the circumstance. They put the tanks out. They rolled out the tanks on Tiananmen Square.
Yeah, Trump's really into the tanks.
Right. They played the national anthem for him. They had a 21-gun salute.
Mm.
And Xi then proceeds to tell him, hey, you need to watch out on Taiwan.
I bet he did.
Then the White House, they put out their little thing about what was said. And they said, well, China's going to cooperate on Iran and the Strait of Hormuz. Then the China said, yeah, no, that didn't happen. They said, well, we discussed it, but they leave it all there. The Chinese government's interesting, right? They're not going to lay their cards out for anybody before or after. And they're playing this guy like a fiddle. And the whole world right now, this guy's begging for someone to save him from the deep water he put himself into.
So true. It's so true.
Some deep shit.
He is, and we're all, what's horrible is we're all in it with him, right? So
how deep is this Strait of Hormuz?
Well, it's about 21 miles across at its narrowest point. I don't know how deep it is. It's deep enough for deep giant tankers, right? So
it's some deep shit.
But only deep enough at certain points.
Right.
Which is the whole point of like the mining boats and everything like that. Like they didn't have to mine the whole strait.
Right.
They just had to mine key points where it's the narrowest so that the tankers couldn't get through.
Right, because the tankers don't go through the shallow parts.
Right. Yeah, you can't just like rub up against the shore. Like, yeah, you just end up with a beach tanker or, Exxon Valdez times a million.
And I don't mean to laugh here because, we've got our military out there, trying to do that Trump has absolutely put them into, him and Hegseth and everybody else. But, you've got these Iranians, they're sending these little robotize, listen to me, I sound like a moron.
No, that's all right.
Yeah, that's all right. I've been called worse many times.
Yeah.
Robotic.
Yes.
Boats. They come out there and they just go ram a tanker and boom. It's just crazy. It's crazy what's happening out there. I was also thinking last week, really just yesterday as I fueled up, I was thinking, this son of a bitch, he just expects us all to forget.
He does.
Like, the high cost of gas. Like people have gotten a little used to it. Folks, I want you to know that 9 weeks ago you were paying about 40% less.
Yes.
Is that about right?
That's about right. Yeah. And I mean, it's just Trump gaslighting every American in the world, just like your gas was more expensive under Biden. No, it wasn't.
Well, I heard that yesterday. Should I say I went to the liquor store yesterday?
Go ahead, man.
I did.
You're an American.
All right. Well,
Strike a bro for liberty.
I'm not like a drunk or anything, but I like a good scotch every now and then.
Well, you like a medium range scotch every now and again.
Oh, well, all right. Medium range scotch.
I'll take a white labeled Woodford Reserve.
I like Glenlivet.
Yeah.
That's
about right.
And so anyway, I was at the grocery store. I had 2 bags of groceries. I walk out of there $46 later. 2 little plastic bags. When you were a kid, you'd go to the grocery store with your parents, and there was like 7 of us in the house. We needed 2 carts. And when they bagged you up, it was paper bags back in the day, in the 70s. And I'd go with my parents. It was fun. There was nothing to do at home. You only had 3 channels. That was it. 3 channels. That was it. So the groceries was kind of like a thing for me. Then maybe occasionally, if my dad had a good day, I'd sneak a candy bar, which, by the way, only cost $0.25. Now a candy bar costs like $3.
It does.
$2.50, $2.75 for a Snickers.
Worth every penny.
Oh, bullshit. My teeth are still crooked, though. Nevertheless, here we are. And so we required 2 carts because we had a lot of milk drinking crazy young men, my brothers and myself and my stepsister and my stepbrother. And we, the 6 of us and 2 parents, 8 of us, my goodness. We drank the shit out of that milk.
Imagine.
Anyway, life was a little easier. You'd buy a whole bunch of groceries. Your parents would spend like $100 on groceries on these 2 carts, maybe $120. And there was a shit ton of food back in the 70s and 80s. And spending $100 was hard. It was just hard. And here we are, now I had 1 cart the other day, 1 full cart of food. My daughter and I went, and, that was a mistake. She bought all the, she went like her dad many years before her. She wanted a candy. Unfortunately, we walked out with ice cream and popsicles and everything else. And
many such cases.
And so I did want to talk today about the American promise. And we joked earlier, that's bullshit when we don't have anything to talk about. But we did want to talk about the American promise because it didn't begin to erode with Donald Trump, but it's eroding. And before you go on, because I want you to talk about this for a little bit, give me a break. But I went to the liquor store. So let me get back to that. I went to the grocery store, went to the liquor store after. And I joked, I always see constituents. I saw a lady at the grocery store. She was telling me, Mr. Gutierrez, it's so expensive. She was in her 70s. She had a plumbing problem. Plumber charged her $1,300 just to fix the plumbing problem. And then she says, and that's not the sheetrock. She says, I don't have that money, Mr. Gutierrez. And so, sent her off to our staff to try to get some help and so on. And so then I went over to the liquor store, and I told those folks, this is another little joke. I said, man, I'm going to have to get myself a little drunk to deal with these Trump economics here. And this fucking guy goes off on me and his helper behind the counter. They're making what, $10, $12 an hour?
Who knows? But yeah, probably.
He starts blaming it, and the Hispanic guy starts blaming it on Biden. Starts blaming it on Obama. Obama, well, shit, that guy hadn't been president
10 years.
Over 10 years. 10 fucking years.
Yeah.
And this dude is blaming Obama. The ladies, I can't even say what she said and all the people she blamed. Like, are you people ignorant? In my mind, I'm thinking, and I start getting into it with a guy. I said, well, just yesterday, we're at 6% inflation now. Inflation just went up 1.25 yesterday, approaching 6% now.
It's a full point higher than the worst month of Biden's presidency.
A full point higher than the Biden presidency.
Correct.
That's fucking crazy.
It's crazy.
And we've got people behind the counter at the liquor store. I'm not going to say which one. And they're back there and they're fucking going off on Biden and Obama. I was like, well, shit. You never saw gas this high under Biden. And the reason we were under Biden, we had an uptick in inflation for a little bit, was because of Trump.
It was.
And COVID.
He printed money.
He printed money. And you're going to sit here and tell me that's Joe Biden's fault?
Come on, man.
I mean, come on.
Yeah. I mean, just look in the mirror, you know? That's what you voted for.
How scary is that? That they've been confused, that they've been convinced, that they've been indoctrinated to think that the state of affairs that we're in is somehow the fault of a president 2 years ago or one 10 years ago. Completely fucked up.
I mean, you are what you consume, right? So who knows what his or our media consumption is, right? You and I both try to read from lots of different sources and people who disagree with us all the time. I just wonder the concentration and of message in certain media sectors, does that lead people to believe lies? And I always thought that the truth would float to the top, right? My whole life we were taught the marketplace of ideas, bad ideas compete with good ideas, and the good ideas come forward. And I'm not so sure anymore. And not to be politically philosophical about it, but just to wonder aloud, if the internet is the marketplace of ideas and the best ideas are supposed to come forward, well, that's not happening. Just not happening. And I don't know how to deal with that problem, you know, because the algorithms are focused on conflict, and not even ideological conflict, but just what gives you the most emotional response, which gives you most emotional throughput. And it's not focused on rationality or credibility or authenticity. It's terrible.
So people aren't learning. They're not getting both sides. They're getting...
I mean, plenty of people would disagree with us, right? I'm certain that rational people could look at the Biden presidency and say, these are the 4 things that he did wrong that led us to this stage. But that's not what this guy said. This guy said Biden's to blame. And I don't know how that could possibly be given the choices that Trump has made that has weakened the economy to such a extent that we've lost 30% of the value of the dollar over the last 6 years.
Yeah.
So just think about it this way. 6 years ago, the dollar that you have in your pocket is now worth 70 cents of what it was 6 years ago. A weak dollar policy has some merit, I guess, but it does mean that we have less economic power than we did 6 years ago, and that is a dangerous place to be.
Right, because people aren't getting raises. The guy at the counter at the liquor store, he didn't get a raise.
No. So his dollar goes not as far. He's making less money, and the costs are much higher. And that is the kind of malaise that ends presidencies and political careers.
And we could sit here and tell you, hell, Biden passed more legislation than the previous 4 presidents before him, major legislation, like Inflation Reduction Act, like the Infrastructure Act, like the $2 trillion in infrastructure that was done, the CHIPS Act, which is science and investing in AI and different things that are out there, and whether you like AI or not, chips essentially.
Yeah. Yes.
Technology, solar, wind.
And he did it through a Senate that was 50-50, which is impossible.
Reduced drug prices in a real way.
A real commitment to climate change.
100%. So we can sit here and tell you all that, and we can expound on it perhaps, but we'd bore you to death, I guess. And then the folks out there like the guy at the counter, well, shit, he just wouldn't believe me either because he's listening to Fox News or whatever the fuck he's listening to. And so we've got a president right now that has got us in some real shit. And I didn't know what we were going to talk about today other than this American promise. And what is that, first off? What is the promise of this country?
I think that the thing we were always told when we were children is that the American dream was that every generation has it better than the generation previous to it.
Mm-hmm.
And that that promise was predicated on, I guess, three things really, which is free expression, the rule of law, and our constitutional values. Those are the things, and I guess market democracy is what you'd say is the third thing, right? Those three things, those ideas mixed together in a pot will produce a machine that makes prosperity, generational prosperity possible for no matter who you were born or how you were born or where you were born, and what race you are and how poor you are when you're born. If you work hard and pay your taxes and follow the rules, you should have it better than your parents did, and your kids will have it better than you. That's the American dream as I understand it. And I don't think we're there. I mean, we haven't been there for, I think, the entirety of my life, at least.
So I do okay, but the fact is, all I do is I make money to pay more bills. It's like I'm just going nuts. How are you doing, George? Is your boss paying you enough?
Yes, sir. But I can definitely say, the thing that really hits me is, increased gas prices and, of course, purchasing power, right? Your purchasing power is 70% from where it was 6 years ago today. So, when you average all that out, I'm making more than I did 6 years ago. Maybe not a whole lot more, right? And it sucks. I got a family of 4 to feed. I'm including myself in that.
Yeah, well, you're part of the family, so that's good.
Yeah, I am. And I eat a little bit because I'm Alex Jones fat. So no, but yeah, no. I want to say one thing that really stuck out to me, and I know that this is really, really stupid, but we're in an era where McDonald's is saying, hey, come in. We've got a special on the McDouble. It's $2.50. Like, okay, ridiculous. But like back in 2008, during the recession, the housing crisis, this is 2010, 2011, it was $1. It was $1 for a McDouble. So how is it increased in price? What? I'm bad at math. I was an arts major, 150%.
150%.
Something like that. Yeah. How has it increased 150% in 15 years?
Yeah. And does anybody, I guess where all this came from for me is that it had that notion of the American dream. It has gotten very hard for all of us to be able to make ends meet. Like I said, I go to the grocery store pretty often because I like to cook. And I wonder how many people in public office do that. I'm certain that Donald Trump does. So yesterday, and I'm not blaming this whole loss of that American dream on him, but yesterday or day before yesterday, the guy came out and said, they asked him, are you concerned at all about people's what did they say about his their economic situations?
What role does the economic situation play in your negotiations with Iran?
And he said, not even a little bit. He said basically about Americans' buying power, about people's ability to be able to just their financial situation at all, the rising cost of healthcare.
He just doesn't fucking care.
He doesn't care. And so, this is what this show has always kind of been about, is pain, right? And people's pain right now is really extensive. I don't understand why and how we're here and how we can't change things. And we talked a little bit about the redistricting situation some time ago, a week ago, and I don't want to get too much into that. But as Republicans begin to erode state legislative processes to try to control this map, I've got to try to encourage, if there is such a thing as a Republican light voter,
sure,
that you've got to understand that we are in an economic crisis that is proportionate to class warfare. We've always been told as politicians, don't talk as public service. Oh, don't make this into class warfare. Well, what the fuck is it?
It's exactly what it is. It's us versus them, period.
Because he's made this into us versus them. Who is Donald Trump's them? The migrants. The who else?
All of us.
Yeah, anyone who's not an us to them.
Yeah, so like, if you're not a billionaire, you are not benefiting under this economy, period. If you're not deeply invested in the market, you're not benefiting from this economy, period.
So I guess my message is to the guy at the liquor store and the girl at the liquor store, to the woman at the liquor store. It's those very wealthy people against the rest of us. But that's kind of what it's always been.
It has.
And we're told, oh, you can't make this into class warfare.
I mean, people who said that are just probably co-opted by the rich class, by the billionaire class, right? That's where they get. That's where their paychecks come from.
Yeah, I get it. We all want to be millionaires, but how is it even attainable for most of us anymore?
It's not.
We're just kind of swimming upstream. So as they screw people in South Carolina, what happened in South Carolina?
Well, I mean, Tennessee is worse than South Carolina.
Tennessee.
Yeah, so like South Carolina, they decided not to go through with getting rid of Jim Clyburn's seat. And I don't know what the mechanics were involved in that, but I remember Clyburn had said that if they didn't do it correctly, that they could have lost 3 seats. The Republicans could have lost 3 seats, right? Because if there's going to be an upswell in African-American turnout, because they're going to feel aggrieved in South Carolina, and that would have, if you were in a moderate Republican seat and you had a lot of African-American Democrats in your district, then that put you at risk. And so maybe they made a pragmatic decision not to go forward with that. But in Tennessee, in 36 hours, they got rid of the Memphis seat. That was the historical black seat. And they also did this, and this is coming to Texas. They kicked the Democrats out of their committee. Because the Democrats in Tennessee, the legislative Democrats, they were disruptive, and they participated in a protest, which is what, I don't know how, that's what we do. We have to put our fingers on the gears of the machine. That's our job, right?
Right.
And they said, no more committees for you. And that's coming to us, which is, whatever. But.
Yeah, shit, who cares?
Yeah.
I mean, we'll fight you on the floor.
Yeah, until you muzzle us, and then we'll fight you in court if you don't.
Right, and we'll fight you at the courthouse.
Yeah.
You can take me off all the goddamn committees. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I've been successful pushing these Republicans into corners, and that's what every politician needs to do, is push them into corners that they can't get out of. And we're going to keep doing that. But the thing about, this Supreme Court has eviscerated the Voting Rights Act. I mean, it's gone. Every protection that people of color might have had. I mean, most protections in the Voting Rights Act are gone, right?
As a matter of fact, yeah. I mean, I'm a practitioner. I actually have a pending Section 2 case right now in Houston.
Yeah.
We did an at-large challenge to a school district there, right? And so we were on appeal on the Fifth Circuit, and it's going to get remanded probably. And then we're going to have to fight about how our evidence still complies with the law. And there are 2 changes that the Alito opinion comes to that fundamentally alter the way we prosecute Section 2 cases. The first is that when we try to prove up Jingles 1, we have to use a demonstration map or district that incorporates the ideas of the majority, right? So if the Texas legislature adopts a map that says our goal is to have 90 Republicans and then the rest will be Democrats, then we have to do the same thing on our demonstration maps that have 90 Republicans. And that presupposes that, how do you do that if you're trying to grow minority districts, right? The second thing they did, which is even difficult, very difficult eventually, is that he wants more evidence of recent discrimination as part of the totality of circumstances. So, those 2 things in tandem will be very difficult to prove.
So you've lost most people already because this bores the shit out of most people. But the
most
implications.
Yes.
The implications are what people need to be understanding, and what the implications are that if you're black or you're brown, then you won't have someone representing you that's black or brown, because they'll split up that seat in such a way that white Republicans, I mean, that should be the racism in and of itself. How many people of color are on the other side?
A few, for sure.
A handful.
Sure.
A handful, because those people don't win their elections. You know, we can talk about other evidence of racism or modern evidence of racism. Shit, it's alive and well every day. And it may not be in that electoral side or in the notion of setting up these districts. But I wanted to digress a little bit to something that is absolutely unrelated to this. But I wanted to talk about South Carolina again. Yesterday, the guy that killed his wife and his kid.
Yeah.
And I'm going to tell you, because I don't really give a shit about this Murtaugh guy, this banker. What was he? A big, powerful South Carolina guy.
They were very wealthy. I don't know how they made
Wasn't he a lawyer?
They made a show about this. He was a lawyer.
Yeah, there's like
Netflix, right?
I mean, a Netflix show, you watch it on Hulu. It's a Hulu show. You can watch it, the Murtaughs, whatever.
the Murdoch
Murdochs.
Murdoch murders.
The Murdoch murders. I mean, the dude kills his wife. Yesterday, gets exonerated by the white South Carolina Supreme Court on some bullshit deal. And I only bring that up for one thing. You know how many black men have appeals in front of the South Carolina Supreme Court that are sentenced to prison for life or death?
Lots.
Do you think that their cases are being overturned and remanded back to the courthouse?
No.
I somehow doubt it.
I mean, this is the kind of bullshit that's happening in this country, that we're allowing to happen in this country, is white men have their pulse on the finger. Sorry, Marty.
That's all right.
But you're not white.
I'm whitish.
No, you're not.
Well, I'm Italian American, so.
It counts here.
I'm sorry if I'm angry. I'm sorry if I say that.
No, that's all right. But it happens here in Texas, too.
Every fucking day we had a governor, this piece of shit, Greg Abbott. The guy shoots someone here in the town square in Austin at a protest, point blank with an AR-15. Goes to trial, goes to prison for life. 4 years he does in prison, and this guy, Greg Abbott, decides to pardon this guy because the protest that he was protesting, that he was there, was a Black Lives Matter protest. This dude pardons a guy that murdered someone in the town square. Yes, the governor of Texas pardoned some white dude who murdered someone.
Shot somebody in their car, point blank.
Point blank. What the fuck kind of world are we living in?
And just this week, Paxton weighed in on the attorney who was sodomizing the child. And this is McClellan County, I think. And he got 100-day, he got a 3-month penalty as opposed to like a 30-year penalty.
Says one sodomizer to the other. I mean, that's Paxton, right?
It
I
is.
mean, just a weird son of a bitch. But these rules, these results, they don't come down to the black and brown world. And I'm sorry, but that's just the fucking truth. Unless you're black and brown and you happen to have an R behind your name, maybe. But we are, so I didn't mean to digress about all these other things, but the American dream is somehow lost into all this bullshit. And we're getting priced out, and we're getting gouged out, and we're getting health cared out, and we're getting auto insurance out, and we're getting home insurance out, and we're getting groceried out of that American dream.
The guy at my liquor store, shout out John, listens to every single podcast we put out.
Well, thank you, John.
Yeah. No, he's great. He's
Thank
a fantastic
John. You have
guy.
some counterparts that are on the other side of this, and I don't understand how you're blaming today's economic situation on old-ass Joe Biden, who was president 2 years ago, and on Obama, who was president 10 years ago. You're fucking nuts. And the visceral emotion that this man and this woman had.
Sure.
I will not tell you what she said. She blamed
I
it
can only
on
guess a certain subset, right?
a certain subset of people.
Yeah.
Mm.
And it just fucked me up.
Well, I mean, that's more than just a disagreement, right? It's a belief in lies. That's the trouble, right? Joe Biden didn't put tariffs on imports, and Joe Biden didn't deport or put the fear of God into Latinos who are migrants here, who do a lot of their work and defund a workplace, right? And Joe Biden didn't start a war of misadventure into Iran. And all those things are why we are in the economic place we are.
And by the way, Barack Obama cut a nuclear deal that would have kept Iran from making nuclear weapons for years and years into the future. And this motherfucker blew up that deal. Donald Trump blew up that deal in his first term.
He did. And now he's looking for the same deal. It's literally the JCPOA is what he's looking for. And why would they ever agree to it with this guy? Why would you ever make an agreement with this guy if he's just going to rescind it?
Right. 100%. You can't make a deal with a cheater and a liar. So please look us up. Subscribe, I guess. Is that what I'm supposed to ask? Subscribe to Fortitude on Roland Gutierrez. I'm getting a reminder that I have to come and join us on TikTok or YouTube or wherever.
Yeah, find us wherever. On social media at Roland for Texas.
We're running for office, by the way. Another term. I'm not going to say it's the last one. Who knows? We're running for another term.
God willing.
God willing. We got to kick some ass and keep fighting and pushing back. I had a conversation with someone yesterday.
Okay.
I'm bringing it up here. I don't give a shit.
Okay.
And I'm not going to say the whole of it. But they said some Republican lobbyist, wasn't much of a lobbyist when they said their name, was talking shit about me, and he says, yeah, Roland has gone off the deep end. You know, with his podcast, with his talks, with his rants. Let me tell you something, motherfucker, and you know who you are. You're goddamn right, I've gone off the deep end on so many things. I wasn't prepared to see a bunch of dead kids, video of dead kids. I wasn't prepared to be thrown into that. My job here, our job, is to make life better for people. That moment in Uvalde many years ago and getting to know those families has changed who I am in a lot of ways. And it's changed the work that I'm going to continue to do with the help of people that follow us. I'm not here to kiss the ass of some billionaire set or to cater to Republican lobbyists or any other goddamn lobbyist. We're here to fight for people. In my whole career, quite frankly, I've fought for working class families. And I'm going to keep fighting for you. And we didn't get the change that we wanted to help out our friends and families in Uvalde. But we're going to keep fighting on that issue. And we're going to keep fighting for working class families, just like we fought for farmers that were getting fucked by Donald Trump. And we got $100 million last session where nobody else could. So for any of you out there that think that they're going to go out there and give us a time, that's your right. But let me tell you something. I haven't lost a beat. We're just getting started. And so for those of you that don't like that I cuss a little bit or they get offended, well, I'm just sorry. You'll have to clutch your pearls and close your ears. These motherfuckers like Donald Trump and Greg Abbott and Ken Paxton are hurting our country in a real way. They are why this American dream has eroded. Because they want to line the pockets of their billionaire and millionaire class. And as long as I'm in office, I'm going to make sure that working class families at least have a chance and have a champion that's pushing for them, that's working for them, that's fighting for them.
I do want to weave a little bit into your weave in the whole thing of, you know, brown people are not welcome in this whole Republican country club type thing. Just today, ICE detained a former Kansas mayor who's the mayor of Coldwater. I want to say it was Coldwater, Kansas. Joe Ceballos. He was born in Mexico. He's a legal permanent U.S. resident, and he's big time pro-Trump and everything like that. They detained him. They're trying to send him back to Mexico right now. He illegally voted for Trump. So he has his green card. He's not a citizen.
Well, listen, here we go. We're going to figure all this out. We're going to keep working. We're going to keep talking to people. And we're going to keep talking about people's pain, whether it's this boy's pain, this gentleman's pain, or somebody else down the road. We're going to keep pushing back. Please join us on Fortitude next week. Like us on all of the different social media. Circulate us, redistribute it to your friends, pass us along. I don't know what the terminology is. I'm such a dinosaur.
Rate, share.
Rate and share us.
Subscribe.
Subscribe. And donate. We sure could use some funds. Go to RolandForTexas.com if you want to donate, if you want to keep us on the air and keep us talking. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. We love you. We'll see you next week on Fortitude with Roland Gutierrez.